Greetings everyone, welcome to the channel. We are the Lion Gaming crew, and in this season 28 build guide video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Tal Rasha's Meteor build, available in both softcore and hardcore seasonal. So if you're looking for any of the gear shown in this video, all you need to do is hit that link in the description, sign up for Discord if you're not already a member, and you can find this whole save file in the file downloads channel on our Discord. Although you will need Save Wizard or a jailbroken PS4 to re-sign the save to your account. If you do not have either of those, but you do have a PC, a laptop, and a USB thumb drive, you can enter in our giveaways. We do 2 giveaways every single week for a chance to win a free save resign. So with all of that out of the way, I do want to shout out each and every single member of our Discord community and each and every single subscriber to our YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate you guys' support and commitment to this community. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on into this build guide, shall we? So this build is named Volcanic, and it is incorporating soul shards in both the main hand and the helm to give us a little bit more affixes, so we have a little bit more wiggle room with the particular affixes we decide to assign on this build. Since there is going to be a lot of them, I'm just going to do a brief overview. I'm going to kind of highlight the ones that I think are pretty good, and we'll move on to the next piece of gear. So looking at the damage of this particular weapon right here, it is 9,338,804 damage per second, with major affixes for damage: cold, fire, lightning, poison, holy, and percent damage. Those are the ones I want to highlight. Although we cannot forget about that 9,500 thorns damage. It is also infused with that Gem of Ease, so it is going to be set for level 1, and you're going to get 8,000 experience per kill. It also has the Soul Shard affixes, and guys, that's not all. This is also sanctified with the Storm Armor Sanctified affix. Now, this build does have all 3 of the sanctified affixes on it, making it, just even more fun to play. So if you're looking for a build that incorporates all 3 sanctified affixes and is also pretty good damage-wise and otherwise with all the other stats in this build, is for you. Moving on into the gloves, again, really hitting everything that you want to see on a piece of gear. It's got that main stat being intelligence, it's got vitality, it's got resist all elements. I think those are the 3 most important ones. Other than that, though, you get some thorns damage and you get a percent gold from monsters, which is nice because who doesn't need some more gold in this game, right? And you also get a soul shard affix, being killing an elite enemy reduces all your active cooldowns by 5 seconds, so not too bad. We do have the 2-piece, 4-piece, and we are missing the 6-piece set bonus. Now you can get that if you want to use the Ring of Royal Grandeur over here in the cube to get that 6-piece set bonus. But I kind of mixed it up a little bit, and we're actually using the Stone of Jordan just to give us higher elemental damage. But you can feel free to add that if you want. You will also get the 3-piece set bonus for the Augil's Authority set. So that decision is entirely up to you, whether you want to use the 6-piece and 3-piece set bonus respectively to get more damage. It's really up to you at that point. But I do recommend using that Stone of Jordan just because of the elemental damage buffs. For the shoulders, we're looking at intelligence being the main big one that you really want to look for here, as well as vitality and, again, resist all elements. And other than that, though, that thorns damage is going to come into play a little bit later on in the gameplay portion. For the chest piece, again, really just hitting that vitality. It's almost at 10,000. It is over 10,000 if you count the augment, so that is pretty good in my book. Moving on into the helm, this is the 2nd piece of gear that incorporates soul shards into it. That's why this can only be had in the seasonal gameplay, because unfortunately these builds that do incorporate soul shards cannot be transferred into non-seasonal, so they are pretty legit. I really like it. This is hitting over 11,000 intelligence if you count that augment, and it's also got life per hit on there as well, which is really crucial, especially if you're playing hardcore. Not so much in softcore, but definitely in hardcore. But you don't really have to worry about it because you're not really going to take any damage. You also get 38,625 life from health potions and globes, just in case you need it. But some other good affixes that I want to read off are killing an elite pack increases move speed by 30% for 7 seconds, and as well as picking up a health globe increases move speed by 40% for 7 seconds. That really comes into play this season more than others is because the Altar of Rites also gives you a 25% movement speed bonus, which is uncapped. So you're going to be moving relatively quickly after picking up a health globe and killing an elite pack, and especially if you do them both at the same time, then you're going to really be rooming, especially if you have the Altar of Rites completed. Now, other than that, though, this is the other one that has the Sanctified affix on there, being the Arcane Orb Sanctified affix on there. So this is the 2nd piece that is Sanctified. Moving on into the Amulet now. Some pretty good affixes that I just want to hit off straight off the bat here are that damage, percent damage, and then the 100% damage to wizards only. Those three are what's really going to carry this gear, especially having that percent damage to wizards only, meaning it's going to buff all of your skills. No matter what skills you decide to pick, it's going to get increased damage because of that one affix. This is also sanctified with the magic missile sanctified affix, so this is the third piece of gear hitting all three sanctified affixes. So pretty awesome. Moving on now into the bracers. This is that second piece of the All Guild's authority set. And it's pretty good ones on here. Pretty standard though, just looking for intelligence, vitality, and resist all elements, which is pretty nice. It also does have 75% magic item find, which is not too bad at all. And the offhand, since this is a two-handed staff, we don't have an offhand. Moving on into the first ring, this is the test ring 516 for immortality, so you're never ever going to die while wearing this. This does have 200% damage to wizards only. That is a very, very good affix, and we love to see it. And you also get gold health pickup radius increased by 100 yards, which is super duper nice, and it does have those increased move speed affixes for picking up a health globe and killing an elite pack. Other than that though, just the bonuses from the legendary gems, not too much else to write home about. For the second ring here, we're looking at the 1 billion physical skill damage ring. This again has that 200% damage to wizards only. Other than that though, not too much. It really does have a really, really high value on the reduced cooldown of all skills, coming at 77.7%. And it also does have reduced all resource costs by 72.5%. And you also get a 35% chance to inflict bleed for 400% weapon damage and 27,000 regular damage, both over 5 seconds. For the boots, these are the Nilfur's Boast, buffing your meteor damage. Increases the damage of meteor by 600%. When your meteor hits 3 or fewer enemies, the damage is increased by 900%. That's absolutely insane. But again, some main affixes that you really want to look for, not just with modded gear, but just normal gear in general, is definitely having that first affix on the list being your main stat for your class. So in this case, it's going to be intelligence. Then you definitely want to either have vitality or percent life. Both of those are interchangeable, but you want to have both. So like it's ideal to have percent life and vitality, but if you can only pick one, I would just pick straight vitality over percent life. Moving on into the pants. Same story here, not too much to write home about. It's just got, standard stuff that we pretty much put on all of our builds. And the last piece of gear here is the Tal Rasha's belt, and it does have 3 passives. I'm keeping that theme of having 3 passives on all of our newest builds because I just feel like it gives you more freedom to pick other passives that players might not pick as much. So for this one, you're getting the Power Hungry, the Galvanizing Ward, and the Elemental Exposure passive. So not too bad. If you use the 4 passives you get in your skill section, you're going to have 7 passives in total, which is pretty great. Moving on into the skills now. For the X ability and the Conjuration skill tree, we're going to be picking up Magic Weapon with the rune Force Weapon. Our 2 main damage dealing attack is going to be Meteor with the rune Comet. For Square in the Conjuration skill tree, we're picking up Storm Armor with the rune Power of the Storm. For Triangle ability and quickly before we move on to the next one, I do want to note you can change the rune on this one. I think Thunderstorm would work ideally as well. Yeah, let's just put Thunderstorm on. I do like switching out between those two. I like how you can reduce your arcane power, but with this high resource cost reduction, you don't really have to worry about that too much. For the Force skill tree, we're picking up for our Triangle ability Blizzard with the rune Lightning Storm, but that can be changed out for any other runes that you want. I think Lightning Storm works especially well if you're using the Stone of Jordan ring, and you'll see why when we get into the detailed stats. For the Circle ability in the secondary skill tree, we're picking up Arcane Orb with the rune Frozen Orb. And finally, for that mobility skill in the defensive skill tree, we're picking up Teleport with the rune Wormhole. Passives are as follows: Blur, Cold-Blooded, Conflagration, and Arcane Dynamo. For the Q powers, we're picking up Envious Blade, Mempo of Twilight, and the Stone of Jordan ring. Like I said earlier in the video, if you want to use the 6-piece set bonus for the Tal Rasha set and the 3-piece set bonus for the All Guild's Authority set, swap the Stone of Jordan out for the Ring of Royal Grandeur. Quickly going over the detailed stats, our intelligence value is at 119,000, not too bad. Our damage is at 750 billion, which is pretty nice. I'm not even complaining. Damage increased by skills at 20%. Bonus damage to elites 325%. Our critical hit chance is capped, but because of the soul shard in the main weapon, it would normally be at 75%, but it is at 60%. That's why we're running the Envious Blade, so we get 100% critical hit chance against enemies at full health. Critical hit damage is at 900%. Area damage 144%. Cooldown reduction is at 99.76%. Physical damage is at 1 billion. Moving down into damage reduction, 90.76%, which is not bad. Our resistances are super high, 97.65% for all of them, which is super duper good. Our thorns damage is also very high at 209,000. Maximum life is so ridiculous. Yeah, it's just out of this world insane. All of the life stats are crazy, like 450% for that total life bonus. Life per hit is over 200,000. Bonus to gold/globe radius is also over 100 yards, which is awesome. And our arcane power cost reduction is at 99%. Our movement speed, look at that, guys, is at 100%. Like, that's absolutely insane, right? Gold find is over 700%. Magic item find is at 150%, and bonus experience per kill set for 8,000. And I just realized going over those detailed stats that we didn't get the 1 billion for all of the other stats. So we're just going to go ahead and throw the Ring of Royal Grandeur on. I don't know why, because we do have, see that cold and fire damage on there? It should have made it so all of our elements are also at 1 billion. But since that's kind of bugged right now, let's not even worry about that. Let's just throw the Stone of Jordan on and just continue on with the video. So clear times for this build are right around a minute and a half. Now they might be higher since we switched out the Stone of Jordan for the Ring of Royal Grandeurs. And I do want to note that we didn't go over the follower because the followers really stayed the same. They haven't been updated, but you do want to rock the Templar follower using the Siege build. I haven't updated those at all, so I didn't really feel the need to go over that, but you do want to use the token that says your follower cannot die if you plan on doing Greater Rift level 150s. That is essential, because if you don't put that on, your follower is going to die, and you're not going to be able to take advantage of getting the Nemesis Bracers bonus after you hit a Shrine and Pylon. But other than that, though, this build is very easy to maintain. You pretty much want to use your teleport skill to get around the map really quickly, and alternating between all of your other spells. So you want to use Blizzard to get massive area of effect damage. You want to use your Meteor to kind of like, where as soon as you teleport into a new area, if you're about to hit a shrine or a pylon, go ahead and cast that Meteor, because it does take a couple of seconds to come down from the sky, but when it does, it's going to deal massive damage, and it's going to be especially effective at killing Rift Guardians. So that's pretty much how this build works, is just kind of using your Meteor as kind of like a first skill damage, and then kind of using your Blizzard to pick up the stragglers. On that, though, Arcane Orb gets cast relatively quickly, and it can be a very good skill, especially if you teleport into a new area and you quickly just want to clear out some of those mobs. Go ahead and cast your Arcane Orb, because look at that fast cast speed. I mean, that's absolutely insane. Here's a look at the Meteor, though. It does come down relatively quickly. As soon as you start channeling it, it comes down faster and faster. So if you want to use Meteor a lot, make sure you're channeling it and not just casting it one at a time, because if you do that, it's just a little bit slower than holding that button down and just watching it come down from the sky. So those are some pretty good tips I have for you for this build. Like I said earlier, you can feel free to swap out a lot of the skills for ones that you want to try out. This build is very versatile, and it can be very good for swapping out different skills. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, definitely let me know by dropping a like on the video. That will be greatly appreciated. And stay tuned. We do have more content here coming out this week. We do have a showcase video for our Season 28 free stat modded save file, as well as an unmodded build guide coming out here pretty soon. So if any of that sounds interesting, maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts and feedback down in that comment section down below. And thank you all for watching. If you made it all the way till the end, you're an absolute legend, and I really appreciate your support. And I really hope to catch you all in a future video coming out soon. Stay safe, stay happy, and last but not least, stay gaming. Lighting Gaming Crew, signing out.